Hey guys and gals, welcome to another Tin Can Crew Trip. Here we are in Vegas, we're here at Treasure Island, just a brief period before we blow off of here. I'm gonna go ahead and bust out my camera because we're gonna go try and find some food before the night's over. Maybe we'll show you a little bit about what Vegas is here in summer. Give you a little quick glimpse. It's a pretty happening place. It never sleeps. It just goes on and on. Some of the things you might want to shield your children's eyes from, but that stuff happens during the day too. I don't think we could have avoided it. Just the strip the way it is. Catch all kinds of cool things happening all at once. Like this. Well, that was nice, but now it's time to move on. Up at 4 a.m. in the morning, on the way to Georgia. Pass over deserts and clear skies to get back to the green country.
Hey, so we're just over here wearing our chin divers, you know, just except for Ryan. He's breaking federal law right now. Look, it's that. No divers.
Oh, you're live, huh?
I'm not live. I better not be live. Now we're just like over here waiting for Nick. He's always like the last guy to come. Isn't he always the last guy? We're always waiting on Nick. Oh, to see your pretty face. Let's tell you.
And after an exhausting plane ride, we are off to the Georgia countryside. First, you got to get through Atlanta traffic, which is taxing, but we get through it. And after that, it's just really nice and beautiful out here. It's everything you would ever hope for. Any place you'd really want to live. Who would ever leave this?
Is this the boss boat? Why is it so small? It's like
After going back there and situating ourselves and getting everything ready, we went and all ate out and celebrated the safe journey before we headed out tomorrow. And this morning we wanted to try some things out. I mean, this is really cool scenery. Everything I live around in Arizona is just like either dead or dying or it pricks you. So, I don't know, trees are fascinating to me. For all of you who live in stuff like this and you're just like, it's a normal day, be lucky. Half the country isn't this pretty. But along the way, we found somebody with some car trouble, so we stopped by to see if we could help, and it was, well, a little much. The car had cleared some smoke coming out of the hood. You could see that it was having some problems. By the time we kind of scrambled and figured out an idea, we grabbed a toad, we emptied it, and I tried to like scoop some water out of this tiny little ditch. But by the time it took us to get that and me to hobble myself over there, it was already kind of well on its way. And so, I mean, at that point in time, we were questioning whether or not it was even worth it to do it. And the lady was scared. The guy over there was just like, get away from it. But we saw that the fire was kind of leaking down the gas line underneath. And so we figured we maybe at least would prolong it or keep it from blowing up completely if we could just maybe stop that.
It's working its way down the fuel line. You can see it.
And so eventually I did decide to take this little bit of water I could get out of that ditch and throw it underneath.
No. I have one in my truck, but we're not in my truck. Why do we feel we gotta have one? Hey.
one of these truckers, usually the truckers have one. Lex, get off the road.
Probably won't get too hot.
Watch out, it's about to go. It's about to go. Get away. Get away.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Okay, go, run. Did the tires pop?
No.
It sucks. Shitty. Looking at it before we even got to it, we knew we couldn't put it out, but we just try to minimize the damage, maybe buy some time for, you know, the first responders to come out and get it. So I think we may have stopped half of it from at least reaching the back of the car, and then we started hearing people buzz down the road. Law enforcement was almost on the trail, and then shortly after they showed up, I mean, obviously there's nothing more that we can do once they show up, so we took off, and then we started seeing other people come by, and so it was taken care of. I have an extremely big concern with things like this because, and if that happens in Arizona, entire regions get burnt to the ground. I guess out here it's not a big a deal because everything's so green it doesn't burn the way it does out there, but you know, whatever. But it seemed like the Georgia officials had a pretty good take on it. There was car after truck after car going over there, so we kind of moved on. Took a few trips here and there, took a little time to admire the scenery, headed back on the highway, enjoyed the scenery more, you know. And we stopped right at the end of Georgia to check out a Cabela's. I guess it had like a smaller store, like similar to a Sportsman's Warehouse. We were totally going to go in there. Never been to a Cabela's before. Plus I needed glasses because I left them at the hotel in Vegas. Yeah, those need to go away forever. The day of pool noodles in the boat is bad. It was somebody else's fault before it was my fault that people started using those. I got that idea from somebody else.
Short term.
Who did it?
Pool noodles. Real life boat building use
We were thinking that this would be awesome, but this hurricane, we might not be able to do the jumbo thing. We haven't been told anything about it by our people we're going to meet up there, but those clouds, they look pretty bad. South Carolina was just as pretty as Georgia, but there was a lot more hardwood than there was pine. After we got here, we got situated, checked into the hotel, unpacked, and then we went out and we experienced what Charleston had to offer as far as food. Everybody says, go to Charleston for the food, so let's see what we can get. Charleston's food lived up to its name, but tomorrow is a totally different thing. We have fun today. Tomorrow we're going to have even more fun. We're going to get into the South Carolina River, and that's where this trip really starts. That's where we really get to have some fun. You get to see the serious culture here in the backwoods. Because out here, 30-foot supercats, yachts, houseboats, and cigarette boats, they don't run the show down here. It's done differently out here in the river. You're going to see what they refer to as the John Yacht.